I'll mute myself.
I really like Christmas Vacation, but I'll watch it on my own. Okay, let's see. I was going to start with some shout outs. And to let you know that I will find a way to distribute tank tops to everyone when I get them. Ordering from this company, they do take a long time. Like, I ordered Jen's Success Club tank top like sometime in October, and I got it like almost a month later. It's crazy, but they will come. So since this is being recorded, I did want to give some people some shout outs. I wanted to recognize Shannon for like getting right back on the wagon after baby number 2. It's so awesome to see her working and doing her workouts and being part of our groups. And then Jen and Stacy for hitting Success Club 5 and 11 for Jen last month. They also qualified for Business Starter. So what that means is like the first rung of the leadership ladder. It means like they're at like this level where they're getting their business started by helping lots of other people. And then also those 2 ladies, Jen and Stacy, were very helpful in the last month with doing challenge guides and meal plans. So that is awesome. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to Chris. She is one of the people who has been instrumental in us doing our Minot Fit Club. She's going through a pretty stressful family situation, but she is recommitted to Core de Force this week. She is on day 3 of early morning workouts and getting them in. Hey, Shannon.
Hey.
I don't know if you missed your shout out, but I sure am proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
So since this is like a free Zoom call, we're going to get cut off at, I don't know, like 40 minutes or something. So I just want to plug along because I have listened to quite a few calls in the last couple of days, and I have a lot of information I want to share with you. So I'm just going to say to check the pin post for like upcoming groups. But there is like a Shakeology group starting Monday, 12 Days of Fitness. And then after the new year, a 3-day refresh. I know I have quite a few challengers and coaches on board with that. And then I did change the date of our challenge group in January to line up with the health bet. So the health bet will start on January 9th and run till February 5th. And the pot like is at a minimum of 2 million. With a cap at 3. So the pot is bigger this time. But I do have some tips about not focusing on the payout, but focusing on the habits that are going to be created. I also wanted to have you guys know that Super Saturday is January 7th, and that I invited you all to a Zoom call with Carl Deichler. There's my CEO gasp. I'm just kidding. It is Friday at 5:30 Central Time, and I believe if you go to the event, there's some alternate times because you can only fit 200 people on a Zoom call at once. But I assume he's going to be doing some talking about the fact that on the National Wake Up Call on Monday, they mentioned that this is the last month of challenge packs. So I don't know what that means. I can't imagine they're taking away like a deal. But they said they had some other special things up their sleeve. So I don't know what that means, but I assumed that was maybe why he was doing a Zoom call. And then also probably just kind of another little ending the year strong. So, that's kind of what I wanted to go into next. I listened to lots of national wake-up calls and then some different calls on the Beachbody Champions page. And if you are not on that page, you should be, and I can post the link in the comments to this call. But the other day I listened to a call from Candace Talbot, and she talked about how this is the time of the year where most people, and the percentage is obviously better for health and fitness coaches, but people just throw in the towel and they're like, I'll just start in January. I'll make resolutions then. And that is why Kristen and I got together this Vital Behavior Challenge now is because this is the time of the year, especially as Beachbody coaches, where we need to be rocking it. And that starts with committing to a program and being a product of the product. And I know in our challenge groups, we're all focusing on like getting through the holidays and, 80/20. But everything I've listened to and when I'm trying to get into my own thick head is like, now is the time to be getting the results so that we have those to share come January when other people are ready. And also, like, the longer we're consistent, the better we build up trust. So the things that I wanted to touch on were like to do the 4 vital behaviors no matter what. She talked about like how her life has been very stressful and crazy, and babies being born and deaths in the family and parents living with her. Someone in her family had like open heart surgery or something, and just how that success has no timetable. And I know it's so hard during those times to dig deep, but I always think back to when I don't want to work. Yesterday I did not want to work. I always think of the quote, lack of consistency can bring a lack of trust. If I don't show up to challenge groups, or if I don't follow up with people I said I would, they might think I'm just there for the sale, not really to help them. And so being a product of the product and working our business, it's easy to do, but it's easy not to do. Yesterday, I could have just stayed in my pajamas all day, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. But then I stopped and remembered I had goals. I had people counting on me. In our challenge group, people had already sent invites out to people who are just watching me, but not even willing to comment to me on Facebook, just like some of you watched me. So she just really encouraged to just do it. And I know that sounds sometimes oversimplified and maybe insensitive, but in those moments of like digging deep, that's when we really experience growth. So now is the time in December that we need to do what no one else wants to do. And so that means the health bet starts on the 9th. If you wait till January 1st to invite to the health bet, it's going to be too late. There's a chance people won't have their things and you'll be having to line them up with Shakeology, and they won't have the right tools. I mean, will it work? Yes, but we want to be at least having those conversations now in December. And even if they say no, and I've noticed this a lot on Facebook with people I've messaged, they might say no right now, but I've noticed that they're liking and commenting my stuff a lot more. So they are watching even if the answer is no right now. And then she did talk about how I loved this, and I wish I would have thought of this the day after Thanksgiving, but the day after Christmas, just to like inundate Facebook with before and afters, and she called it breakfast, lunch, and dinners, before and after pictures. So whether that be pictures of your own or those found on the website, but of just different programs and the 3-day refresh, because on the 26th, that's when people are going to, 1, maybe have Christmas money, 2, they're going to be sick and tired of feeling the way they did, and the new year is just a few days away. And so that will be that final time to make that push to help more people. And I never thought of this, but she talked about not just hitting Success Club 5 or doing your bare minimum in December, but trying for 10, because 10 allows you, if you're Emerald, for free leads. And January is health and fitness season, and everyone who's wanted to do something that hasn't is going to in January, and they're not going to be people who have a coach. So what they do is they sign up on Team Beachbody and they get assigned a coach. And if you're Emerald, that could be you. And so they talked about how, like, for this one gal, it was like $300 extra every week in January for commission. And I've had that too. I just didn't realize like making the connection with January, that it would really like boost your paychecks. And then with those free leads, that's a chance to reach out to those people and get them engaged in your groups. So the discussions need to be happening now. And so we do that by committing to a program and being a product of the product now. We need to share every day, not just like, oh, what did I do today? MMA shred. But like tell about it. Tell what it did for you. Today I didn't really want to work out, but I was so thankful that I had my home gym to work out in, because I never would have been even able to go to the gym all week this week. So like share what working out at home can do for you. And then to share the things that scare you. I talk about those posts that I have to like throw my phone down and turn it over and run away. And then like I sneak back and check it and wonder what people said. Those are the posts that are going to touch someone else's heart. And so like the way that you share, there's like, it's like 4 steps. So first thing is you share your life pre Beachbody. And then be sure that you tell about what you didn't like about that. So like that emotional connection, and get in touch with like other people's internal struggle. So I didn't like how I went into my closet and nothing fit me, and I would try on like 15 outfits and throw them all on my bed and be crying by the time we went anywhere around the holidays or for special events. Other people feel that way too. And then you tell what your life is like now, that I can just go to my closet and pick out anything and it's wonderful, and I don't have to look at myself in the mirror and hate what I see, and I don't have to go to parties and like be tugging on my clothes and feel uncomfortable and be hiding behind my husband in pictures. And then you end like with the action step, how you can help. So you want to be sure that like when you're doing those posts, you're not just saying, oh, this was me then, this is me now, but like telling how you felt, and then how you as a coach can help. Like that's like the call to action. So that brings me to the Health Bet. I've listened to 3 different calls on this. And I'm going to post the script that this Candace is using, and she talked about, and what I'm going to challenge you guys all to do too, is gather a list of 25 or more names. And if you did the Health Bet last time, that will probably be easy for you, because you're going to want to be sure you get those people engaged again. And so you do that by going through old Facebook messages. She even talked about going back 2 years. I'll be able to go back to like my Power of 3 sheets, but I wasn't consistently doing those till August. So I'll want to go back to when I first started coaching, which was 2 years ago at this time, and make a list of all those people. Check your online office for your customer list. Go through and find people who just ordered a program. And then obviously your old Health Betters, and you can even go into that old group and send them a message about the upcoming Health Bet. And then there's a script that I'll post in the links. And she said basically just send it, but personalize it obviously with their name. And then if they are interested or say yes right away, I'm going to create an event tomorrow that you can add them to right away. So we want to get them in the event so that they're getting information. So this will be a Facebook event just like we're doing for all the other groups. And if they say no, don't just say like, okay, I'm out. Happy 2017. The way she worded it was, I will circle back with you after Christmas. And I know sometimes in my messages, I oftentimes say, let me know. She talked about saying never to say, let me know, because when you say, let me know, 1, it gives them an out to not let you know. And 2, if you then contact them to follow up, you feel weird because you said, let me know, let me know. Does that make sense? I don't know. That was like a big eye opener for me, because I do that all the time because it sounds like casual, and then the ball's in their court. But she said like, if you say like, I'll circle back with you after Christmas, like their situation may be different. So I really liked that idea, and I'll post this all. And then I know we talked about, I don't know if it was on this call, it was probably on the Team Hope call last week, how like the Health Bet was hard because of the Challenge Tracker app. And we don't have a choice but to run it on there. And so Danielle Natoni really focused about not focusing on the payout, but the habits that could be created, and that consistency of habits by logging your workout and logging your shake for 30 days. How when you see certain people doing those things and the habits being created, it's a lot easier to create that spillover effect creating coaches, because they already have a couple of the vital behaviors already down. And so that the consistency of doing your workout and drinking your shake can naturally translate into yes, I just read that comment in the chat and I'll post it. People who are logging their workout and consistency logging their shake, they will spill over into natural coaches because they're already doing some of the vital behaviors. Odds are if they're consistent on that, they would possibly be consistent at inviting and recognizing others. Okay, I saw someone mentioned any ideas on how to discuss the health bet with those that did it before. Yes, I wrote it down, but it's in my notebook upstairs. So I'll post everything like in the comments of this call. But she basically like just said to say like, hey, Beachbody's doing it again. I give them the information, but just like to focus on their results, like what you remember them gaining from it last time. Besides the $16. And I know that Annie and Jade are doing the fantasy fitness where they're also doing a pay in addition to the health bet. I don't know if you remember, that was Brandy's idea from like this summer, where it would be run like fantasy football, but with a fitness program. And so then people could get like a bigger chunk of money. But I looked at like the rules for it, and they're in Team 2.1 if you want to look at them. I just think it's one extra thing to track. And honestly, I don't know if it was the money or not that motivated people. I know there will be people who want to do it on the app and people who don't want to do it on the app, but I'm trying to personally change my mindset about the app. And another elite coach, her name is Christina Delgado. She's one of like Stacy, she's one of the sisters from Miami, that Becky's sister or whatever. But she said like, we really need to embrace the health bet because like Beachbody is giving us basically $3 million to pay out to our clients. Like, why wouldn't we not want to? Very true. And that our mindset needs to change. Yes, December's hard. Yes, there's all these other shiny, glittery things. Yes, it's a busy time of the year. But our mindset needs to be, I can and I will. And like, not to set the bar low, because when you set the bar low, your activities are low, but to set the bar high, because then you're going to have, your activities will be high to try to reach that high bar. And then just to stay 100% committed to your own journey. Because of what I said, like if you're constantly stopping and starting your fitness journey, and then constantly posting about stopping and starting your fitness journey, people catch on to that. So that was kind of my like ending the year strong. Are you doing a face group for those who don't want to do the health bet? I am not. You guys can unmute yourself if you want to talk. I'm done.
I think the last time we did the health bet, we were going to do a separate Facebook group for those that didn't want to do the app. But then we realized that the majority of the people that were going to be doing both.
Right.
And we just kind of just talked them into just doing the health bet, right?
Yeah.
I do have a few people I know. I'm not sure who will want to do it. I just hope the app they've improved. Like, it would be nice to be able to go live, but I think if not, probably need to take the extra time to upload videos. And it doesn't take that long to upload a YouTube video. It's just so handy to go live whenever you want. And then I will admit, like, while I did what I would normally do for a challenge group, there were days where I did not check in until like so late it wouldn't even matter because I forgot about it. And that's on me. Like, and that's where like Danielle Natoni, she's like my favorite coach of all time, but she said like, you need to get consistent with the tracker just like you would anything else. And I thought, like, I think it was Jenny Newman's group that, like, did, like, they had to take pictures of their Shakeology in funny places. I don't know. So I think we can do some things to, like, spice it up. You know, like, just like we do, like, and, you know, like, well, I'll sit by your Christmas tree in December, like, those kind of things. I think we could do that in the health bet, and then we need to talk about maybe making the pin post, maybe to be, like, their nutrition check-in and a daily challenge check-in. Or doing, I never have good luck with collages. People don't want to do them unless they're a coach. People think they're like hard and they're not. So I think just maybe making the pin post like a nutrition check-in with a daily challenge and really trying to like minimize the words. You know, like, so that the, like, our verbiage isn't maybe so long. I don't know. And then I also thought about possibly, like, maybe this would be an easy one to do a prize for. I don't know. Like, I was going to ask some of the other coaches who have virtual assistants if they have maybe added a virtual assistant to the group, how that would work. Or, because, like, yeah, you can see their, maybe it wouldn't be so hard because it would just be one post a day to check because you see their workout and their shake. But I would just like people, instead of just checking in with their workout, to like post a sweaty selfie. Like, I thought that was kind of like missed. It seems silly that like, but I do think people who like aren't ready to like, you know, like to take that picture, I think there's like growth in that. I know it sounds silly, but I remember when I first started, I would just take pictures of my workout screen. Like, I didn't want anyone to see me like that, but I see so much more success from my clients who actually participate in the groups and do the challenges. I tried to explain that to a client last month who wasn't having results, and I'm like, well, I never see you participate in the group. She's like, well, I'm too busy to be on Facebook, but then I see her on Facebook all the time. So I know that's an excuse, but I'm like, we don't assign these challenges just to, it's not busy homework. We plan these like, because we want to help change your mindset. We want to give you information on health and nutrition. So I don't know. That was my idea for the pin post because I do think the nutrition piece was missing in the last health bet. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a good idea. I think too, the issue is it was so big. So it was overwhelming, I think, for the people who did it. And then for the coaches, I don't know if we'd want to, depending on how many people are interested, split up into like 2 groups or something.
Stacy and I think we're chatting about that today. I even thought like maybe just a group of like 15 to 20. I don't know. Like, I know we miss, like, there's people like I miss that are like good leaders that should be coaches when we do groups separate. But I think like, I mean, I think I had like 30 challengers of my own last time. And I think 5 of them ended up not participating. But yes, I do think we should split up. And I did read, Shannon had some suggestions for names. I read them, but I didn't write them down, so I'll have to go back and look.
I don't remember.
I made a comment here that I think we need to remind people more often of what the rules were, just because while it is their responsibility, nobody took the time to really read the rules. So I had quite a few that missed taking a picture of their Shakeology cup, or they just logged it, or they took a picture that didn't really have their Shakeology or something, and then they didn't get the money, and so they were upset. And
Really?
So I'm not upset, but just like, oh, well, that's stupid. So, how do I know if they're going to do this again? Because one, it was $16. Two,
That stinks.
they were disappointed because they missed, they lost out after putting the time in. And
Was it every Sunday or every Saturday? Our post said, like, be sure you have your whatever uploaded. But one thing I didn't realize is that they can go back on the calendar and log them. Because I had someone who was on.
Yeah, they can, but could they log a picture? Go back and log a picture?
I think so. Because I felt bad. She was like on vacation somewhere, like where she didn't have Wi-Fi, and she was hiking and drinking her shake. And she had missed too many days in a row. So then once she did that, she just quit participating. Like, I think she was still doing her walking. Oh no, I can't see it. But yes, I agree. And I did send all the rules to people, but I don't know. That's like the teacher in me. Like, I'm just like not an enabler. It's hard. Like,
I know you can't hold their hand, but
yeah, they want us to, so. Yes. Okay, so I'm writing these things down.
if you want to know, we're at the eggnog point with the moose cup. If anybody wants an update.
We haven't watched that one yet. It's on our to-do list.
Matt just couldn't contain himself anymore.
Well, that's not very nice of him.
Oh, wait, I have to show you something.
His face is kind of clean.
It's a little bit better, right?
I don't know what she said.
She said, oh, his face is kind of clean. Not better. I mean, it's better, but not good, not great.
Tyler did that, and it took me almost a whole day to realize it.
That's funny.
Because it's just like white in patches, and then there's other like bald patches. So then he just shaved this creepy like goat. And then if I didn't notice, the next day he was going to do handlebars.
Poor guy needs some attention, Lindy.
Crazy around here. Today he went up to the school to like start buses because they all got unplugged when they plowed snow, and 2 bus drivers didn't close windows last night, and the buses were filled with snow.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Oh, I bet that made him happy.
I'm like, I wouldn't have even done it. And he's like, well, then all the kids are going to have to do is sit in water. Whatever.
He's a good guy.
We're an hour late here tomorrow, but no buses. There's going to be no one in school.
We were 2 hours late today, but I don't know. Did you guys have a lot of kids, Stacy?
I would say 80%. I'm guessing a lot of the rural kids didn't show up. Out of my caseload, I only had 30%. So there's 3 adults to 1 child.
Mm.
I left early, so.
It was only 30 degrees here today in Texas.
Ooh, that's a little.
It is cold.
It's supposed to be 50 this weekend, but today and tomorrow it's going to be like 20 or 30.
You get a little taste of your hometown.
Yeah.
You missed it.
We were supposed to get snow, and Paul was super excited, and then we didn't. And he's sad.
We can send some your way. You want us to get some down there? There's plenty of it here.
I think this challenge group is going well.
Christmas one?
Yeah, I like it.
Me too.
I can never get my people to post. They're both doing I check in with them, and they're working their programs, but none of my people ever post in groups. I don't know how to get them more invested in that piece of it.
What's their personality? Like,
Well, the one I've talked with you about her before, Lindy. It took me forever to get her actually buying a program because she always has lots of excuses.
Right.
But she actually is doing the refresh right now, and then she's doing this challenge group. But she always kind of like goes back and forth and waffles. Like she loses some weight and then she gains it, loses it,
that
gains
Erin?
it. That's Erin, yeah. And she's very flaky. She's the sweetest person in the world, but she's like the most flaky, forgetful person ever.
I remember Gretchen last year, I think at this time, I think it was in a clean eating group, but she just offered he private messaged her girls in a group. And then she offered them an incentive if they're that, I mean, some people could care less.
Yeah.
With as far as if they were to check in the group or whatever. I think she ended up giving a Fix-It cookbook away, but you wouldn't have to even do something that's maybe $5 or something. I just think that results are typically better. I don't know. I had another coach who's working on being active. She said her people in a couple of groups ago, they just didn't like all the posting on Facebook. I'm like, well, it is an accountability group, and I don't know how you be accountable if you don't. I mean, that's great that they love the information. And I've had people say, oh, I'm following along, but I don't know. I just think there's something to be said about being accountable. But in Team Hope, Brandy Curry has really been talking about how, when she's been surveying people, that people really want, the personal connection. They want to, meet in person. I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen that some with Fit Club. But I don't know if it's the idea of people kind of being done and burnt out with Facebook. And maybe that's why my challenge tracker app would be better. But I do think there's something to be said about that personal connection. I don't know. We did that clean goodie exchange at Fit Club. It was such a good idea. I would recommend it for, I don't know, just to do one. It was so fun. I came home with, it will be 7 treats. One girl was gone. But everything was in freezer bags, so we could just freeze them. I haven't had to make breakfast for my kids all week because they've just been eating that. And most of them we did clean breakfast goodies. But I did make the peanut butter chocolate balls from Fix-It because I just wanted to try them. And I thought really how many versions of baked oatmeal can we have? Carolyn made those Fix-It egg cups. And they are so good. I forgot how good they are, but I could see a lot of people who aren't familiar with clean eating, trying things like that and being oh, this isn't gross. So I think that would be a way to do something free. You just have to we created an event and talked about the guidelines of clean eating and had them post up their recipes so we could talk to them about them if they weren't or whatever. But it wasn't hard. I just made 42. It wouldn't be hard to make 42 muffins or whatever, and then we just laid them out and everyone took one and off we went and put our recipe in the group, and now we have 7 new recipes. So I don't know. I would totally recommend doing that, maybe for Valentine's Day or just randomly. So I don't know. I just think finding those ways to add that personal connection in if they are local to you. But I don't know. I think Facebook's wonderful because I wouldn't have connected with really any of you. We're not, I mean, Jen and Stacy and I kind of live close to each other, but not really. So I posted my December goals. I'm going to end the year strong. I see that I have helped 50 people this year. I'm a little disappointed because it's down from last year. That surprised me. So I have a huge goal for December. So I'm not setting the bar low. I'm setting it high. And I will hit success 5 minimum, but hopefully 12 and 23 would beat my 2000, whatever last year was, 15. And
I will take you out on a night on the town if you do that.
Hey, I have hit 24 before.
I know, but if you do that this month, I will. You and me, sister.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So
I'm probably won't hit 23, but if you do, I'll take you out.
that'd be fun. Challenge accepted. So I don't know if we'll have a call on the 21st. My life's pretty boring. I'm game, but I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, look at the baby.
He's actually happy.
She's so cute.
All right, we're going to get cut off, guys. Thank you.
Oh, wait, hang on. If those of you that know Kelsey McIntosh Ellig, if you guys could just, she was a challenger and our group's been pretty consistent. She's been absent for the last few months, but she could really use some prayers this week. She's going through some tough stuff. So just throwing that out there.
Done.
Thanks.
Okay.
Will do.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.